The moment I pulled into my driveway, I knew something was off. A strange SUV sat in my garage like it owned the place. It wasn't my sister's car. It wasn't my neighbor's, and it sure as hell wasn't mine. Worse yet, the garage door was wide open, like the universe itself was showing me the absurdity of the situation. I had only been gone for 8 hours, barely a work shift, and somehow in that short time, someone had decided that my garage was up for grabs, like a lion marking its territory. At first, I thought it had to be some mistake. Maybe a delivery guy used my space to turn around. A confused Uber driver, maybe. But the longer I looked, the more my gut told me something was very wrong. The SUV wasn't just haphazardly parked. It was perfectly positioned, like the driver had taken their sweet time making sure it was just right. The doors were locked, and the final, bizarre detail, a half-empty iced coffee sat on the hood, condensation still fresh. Whoever parked here had done so recently. I marched up to my front door, checked to make sure nothing else had been tampered with, and went straight to my neighbor's house. That's when I met her. Karen. She appeared before I even knocked, stepping out with the kind of confidence that only comes with a lifetime of getting away with nonsense. Short bob haircut, oversized sunglasses, an expression that practically screamed, "I dare you to challenge me." "Excuse me," I said, keeping my tone level. "Do you know whose car that is in my garage?" She didn't hesitate. "Yeah, it's mine." Silence. I blinked. She sipped her drink. "I'm sorry, what?" "I parked there," she repeated, as if that somehow explained anything. "I needed the space." I let out a disbelieving laugh, waiting for her to say she was joking. But she just stared at me like I was the one being unreasonable. "So you just parked in my garage?" I asked, making sure I wasn't hallucinating. She scoffed. "It was empty. What's the big deal? You weren't even using it." Oh, this was going to be a problem. I took a deep breath, gripping the bridge of my nose to keep from losing my temper. "Karen, this is my asterisk property. You can't just park in my garage because you asterisk feel like it." She rolled her eyes. "Well, I was in a hurry, and your driveway is too sloped for my SUV. You have so much space, and I figured since you weren't home, what's the harm?" The sheer asterisk audacity almost made me laugh. Almost. "The harm is that it's illegal," I said, my patience wearing thin. "You're trespassing, move your car." She crossed her arms. "I will, but I have errands to run. I'll get to it later." "Later," I repeated, actually laughing in disbelief. "No, you'll move it now." Karen let out an exaggerated asterisk, sigh asterisk, like I was some unreasonable landlord asking for rent asterisk on time. "I asterisk can't. I'm going out with my friends. Just be a good neighbor and let it be." And with that, she turned and walked back into her house, shutting the door in my face. I stood there, jaw clenched, trying to process what had just happened. I had met my fair share of entitled people before, but Karen was operating on a whole asterisk different level. I could asterisk have called the police. I could asterisk have had her towed. But something about the smug little smirk she gave me before shutting her door ignited a much pettier asterisk fire inside me. Fine, she wanted to park in my garage so badly. She could asterisk stay in my garage. Without hesitation, I walked back to my house, grabbed my garage door remote, and manually locked it from the inside. Then I secured the side door with the deadbolt, checked everything twice, and made sure there was no way in or out. Then I packed my bags and left for a asterisk week. What I asterisk did know at the time. Karen had gone into the garage before I locked it. And she was asterisk still inside. Karen must have assumed she could come and go as she pleased. Maybe she had gone back to grab something from her car, thinking she had all the time in the world. But the moment I locked that garage door, she had no way out. By the time I was halfway to my vacation destination, sipping a drink under the sun, Karen was stuck in my garage with nothing but her purse, her car, and a rapidly growing sense of panic. At first, she probably assumed it was a mistake. Maybe the garage door had malfunctioned. Maybe I had absent-mindedly closed it without realizing she was inside. But as the hours dragged on, reality started to sink in. The garage had no phone signal, no food aside from a few stale protein bars I had forgotten about, and worst of all, no working restroom. That's when she began to panic. She pounded on the walls, screamed for help, and even tried to pick the lock with a bobby pin, but nothing worked. The garage was sealed tight. By day 3, she was asterisk desperate. She had tried everything, honking the car horn, which eventually drained the battery, banging on the garage door with a tire iron, even attempting to squeeze through the doggy door in a move so ridiculous I wish I had security footage of it. But the real beauty of the situation: no one was looking for her. Her husband, Greg, seemed vaguely concerned, but mostly indifferent. Apparently, he had assumed she had gone on a shopping spree or a girl's getaway. The neighbors, they didn't like her enough to notice. Her best friend, Susan, was the only one who really started asking questions. But even then, it took days for her to become suspicious. Meanwhile, Karen was discovering just how limited her options were. Her first problem: food and water. A quick search through her purse revealed nothing useful. Some breath mints, a crumpled granola bar wrapper with nothing but crumbs, and an overpriced bottle of alkaline water that was already half empty. So she raided the car next. She tore through the glove compartment and center console like a raccoon digging through trash. Jackpot: a pack of stale crackers, a melted chocolate bar, and an old energy drink. Not exactly gourmet, but it would have to do. Her second problem: the bathroom. She held it in as long as she could, but by the second day she was forced to resort to an empty Starbucks cup in the backseat. It was humiliating, disgusting, and something she would never speak of again. And finally, the worst problem of all: the isolation. By day 4, the walls felt like they were closing in. The air was thick with the smell of car exhaust and desperation. She was exhausted, dehydrated, and losing her grip on reality. At one point, she got desperate. She tried to escape through the doggy door again. She managed to squeeze her head through, but her shoulders weren't cooperating. For a solid 20 minutes, she was stuck halfway in, halfway out kicking and screaming like a trapped animal. Eventually, she had to wiggle herself back inside, utterly defeated. And still, no one came to help her. Meanwhile, I was blissfully unaware, enjoying my trip without a care in the world. Until I got a message from an unknown number. "Help me, you monster." I stared at my phone, confused. Then another message popped up. "You locked me in, you psychopath. Let me out." That's when I realized what had happened. Karen hadn't just parked in my garage. She had parked herself in my garage. And now she wanted out. But I wasn't in any rush to fix her problem. After all, she had told me to be a good neighbor, and let it be, hadn't she? I smirked, put my phone away, and ordered another drink. Karen could wait. Karen had gone through every possible emotion: anger, denial, bargaining, and full-blown desperation. She had screamed, kicked the walls, honked the car horn until the battery died, and even banged on the garage door with a tire iron. But nothing worked. The garage door remained locked, and no one had come to her rescue. At first, she convinced herself that someone would hear her. After all, she was Karen. Karen always got her way. Surely, a neighbor would notice her absence. Maybe Greg would realize something was off and come looking for her. But as the hours passed, reality set in. Greg wasn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, and honestly, he was probably enjoying the silence. The neighbors, they didn't like her enough to be concerned. The only person who could fix this was me, and I was sipping margaritas, completely unaware, or worse, fully aware of her situation. She had to survive. Her first challenge was food and water. She scoured her purse and found only breath mints, a crumpled granola bar wrapper, and half a bottle of overpriced alkaline water. It wasn't much, but it would have to do. She dug through the car next, rummaging through the glove compartment like a desperate raccoon. Jackpot, a pack of stale crackers, a melted chocolate bar, and an old energy drink. It wasn't gourmet, but it was better than starving. The bathroom situation, however, was a nightmare. She had held it in as long as she could, but by the second day she had to face the unthinkable. With no other options, she used an empty Starbucks cup from the backseat. It was humiliating, disgusting, and something she swore never to speak of again. By the third day, she was starting to lose it. The walls of the garage felt like they were closing in. The air smelled like a mix of stale energy drinks and pure desperation. She tried to sleep, but the car seats were uncomfortable, and the silence was unnerving. Every creak, every distant dog bark, every car passing by outside made her heart race. She would have given anything for her phone, but there was no signal, and the battery had died anyway. That's when she got a brilliant idea. The doggy door. It was small, meant for a golden retriever, not a fully grown woman, but she was desperate. She got on her stomach, wiggled forward, and managed to squeeze her head through. That was as far as she got. Her shoulders were too broad, her hips refused to budge, and now she was stuck, halfway in, halfway out, kicking and flailing like a trapped cartoon character. It took her 20 minutes of struggling, screaming, and pure humiliation to wiggle herself back inside. She was reaching her breaking point. Meanwhile, back in the real world, things were beginning to get suspicious. Karen's best friend, Susan, had started asking around. Greg, who had been enjoying a few blissful days of peace, finally realized his wife hadn't texted him in a while. At first, he assumed she was out shopping or at a spa day. But when Susan called him for the fourth time, suggesting something might actually be wrong, even Greg had to admit it was a little odd. He eventually wandered over to my house, knocking on the door. When there was no answer, he peeked around the property, checking to see if Karen's car was still parked somewhere. The garage was locked tight, no obvious sign of his wife. Greg shrugged and went home. If she was in trouble, she would have found a way to make sure everyone knew about it. Back in the garage, Karen was spiraling. By now, she had reached the stage of insanity where she started talking to objects. The iced coffee cup from earlier had become Wilson, her only companion. She had full conversations with it, blaming me for her predicament, blaming Greg for not realizing she was missing, blaming the universe for allowing this to happen to someone as important as her. Wilson, of course, had no response, which only made her angrier. Then, in a moment of desperation, she remembered something. The garage had one tiny window near the ceiling. It wasn't big enough to climb through, but maybe, just maybe she could get someone's attention. Stacking whatever she could find, she climbed onto the hood of her car, then onto the roof, and finally reached the window. She could see the street outside. Freedom was so close yet so far. She screamed for help, waving her arms like a madwoman, but no one was around. The only person who walked by was Mr. Jenkins, the elderly neighbor who always wore noise-canceling headphones when he went on his daily walk. He didn't even glance in her direction. Her last hope was honking the horn again. But after draining the car battery earlier, that was no longer an option. She was stuck, defeated, trapped in a garage that, until recently, she had thought of as her personal parking space. And then, just when she had finally accepted her fate, she heard it. Her phone vibrating in the cup holder. Scrambling back down, she lunged for it, praying she had just enough battery left. The screen was dark. Dead. She cursed, shaking it, willing it to turn back on, but it was useless. She was still trapped, still helpless. Then, as if to add insult to injury, She heard the unmistakable sound of a car pulling into the driveway. Her heart leapt. Finally, someone had come to save her. But the second she saw who it was, her relief turned into pure asterisk rage. It was asterisk me. The garage door started to open, flooding the space with fresh air and sunlight. And as soon as it was halfway up, Karen exploded out like a bat out of hell, wild-eyed, furious, and ready to unleash every ounce of pent-up frustration. I just stood there, sipping my drink like I hadn't just left her to rot for a week. "Well," I said, smirking, "looks like someone had an eventful time." Karen saw asterisk red. She was going to destroy me. Karen had never felt rage like this before. The second she stumbled out of the garage, wild-eyed, disheveled, and reeking of stale energy drinks and desperation, she barely took a breath before launching into a full-blown screaming fit. "You asterisk absolute psychopath," she screeched, her voice hoarse from days of shouting inside the enclosed space. "You locked me in there, you left me to rot. Do you have any idea what I've been through?" I raised an eyebrow, completely unfazed. "I mean, I assumed asterisk you move your car when I told you to. Guess that didn't happen." Karen's hands balled into fists. Her nails dug into her palms so hard that they left little crescent-shaped marks. She was dirty, exhausted, dehydrated, and beyond humiliated. Her once perfectly straightened bob was now a frizzy, chaotic mess. She had spent asterisk days plotting her revenge, fantasizing about every possible way to make me suffer for what I had done. And now, finally she was free. I was going to pay for this. "I'm calling the cops," she seethed, jabbing a trembling finger at me. "You're going to jail for this. This is unlawful imprisonment. I hope you have a good lawyer because you're done." I took another slow sip of my drink. "Go ahead." Karen faltered for a second. I wasn't panicked. I wasn't even remotely worried. I just pulled my phone out of my pocket and unlocked it. "Want me to call for you?" I asked casually. "Or do you want to use my phone since yours is probably dead?" For a split second, Karen hesitated. Something was off. Why wasn't I afraid? Why wasn't I scrambling to explain myself? The way I was looking at her, calm, composed, made her stomach twist with unease. Before she could respond, I walked over to my car, popped open the trunk, and pulled out a small security camera. I tapped the screen. "See, the funny thing is," I continued, completely ignoring the way Karen looked like she was about to explode, "I installed cameras around my property a while ago, and they've been recording this entire time." Karen's mouth went dry. I turned the screen toward her and pressed play. There she was, strutting up my driveway, waving her hand dismissively when I told her to move her car. There she was, arrogantly turning her back on me, saying she'd move it when she felt like it. And then, the cherry on top, there she was sneaking into the garage to grab something from her car, right before I locked it and left. I grinned. "So technically you locked yourself in," I said, slipping the phone back into my pocket. "I just didn't know you were still inside when I left." Karen's lips parted. She was searching for some kind of argument, some way to twist this back in her favor. But nothing came. She had no defense. Her entire case crumbled in an instant. But she refused to let me win. "You can't prove that I was in there for a whole week," she spat. "For all anyone knows, I was only in there for a few hours." I smirked. "You mean aside from the texts you sent me?" Karen froze. I unlocked my phone again and scrolled through my messages before holding up the screen. Her frantic texts flashed in front of her, each one more desperate than the last. "Help me, you monster. You locked me in, you psychopath. Let me out. I've been here 4 days. I'm losing my mind." I raised my eyebrows. Doesn't exactly sound like someone who was in there for just a few hours, does it? Karen clenched her teeth so hard her jaw ached. She could feel it, her control slipping through her fingers like sand, and she hated it. And then, to make matters even worse, her husband Greg finally decided to show up. He pulled into the driveway, stepping out of the car with a confused expression. "Hey, babe," he said casually. "Where have you been? Susan said she hasn't heard from you in days. Karen whipped around, barely holding herself together. "Greg," she shrieked. "This lunatic locked me in his garage for a week." Greg looked at me, then at the security camera in my hand, then back at Karen. "Wait, so you were in his garage? Why?" I parked there for a bit and then he locked it," she sputtered. "He did this to me." Greg rubbed the back of his neck. "So, why did you park in his garage?" Karen's mouth opened, then closed. "That's not the point, Greg." I gave Greg a friendly nod. "Your wife trespassed on my property, refused to move her car, and then got herself stuck in my garage when I left for a trip. I've got it all on camera, including the part where she texted me, begging to be let out." Greg exhaled slowly. "Karen, did you actually do that?" Karen was ready to scream. This was humiliating. She had spent days suffering, expecting everyone to be on her side the second she got out. And now, her own husband was questioning her. I clapped my hands together. "All right, well, I'm not going to press charges, but I will be installing a new security system to make sure this never happens again." Karen scoffed. "Like I would ever park in your garage again, you lunatic." I grinned. "Good, then we're on the same page." Karen seethed. This wasn't over. She would find a way to get back at me. She had to. But then, as if the universe wanted to deliver one final blow, her phone buzzed with a notification. "A fine. Hefty 1. From the Homeowners Association." The message was clear. Unauthorized use of another resident's property, multiple complaints from neighbors, and a decision from the HOA to revoke her community privileges for a whole year. No pool access, no clubhouse reservations. Nothing. I gave her a little salute. "See you around, Karen." Karen wanted to scream. She wanted to fight. But there was nothing left to do. With no other choice, she stomped back to Greg's car, humiliated beyond belief. Greg, meanwhile, just sighed. "So, should I even ask?" "Drive," Karen snapped, crossing her arms. And with that, Greg put the car in reverse and drove them away. I watched them go, then turned back to my garage, shaking my head in amusement. I had 1. And the best part, Karen had done it to herself. As Greg's car disappeared down the street, I let out a small chuckle. The whole situation had played out better than I could have ever planned. I hadn't just one Karen had self-destructed and she had done it in the most spectacularly humiliating way possible. I took one last sip of my drink and glanced back at my garage. It still smelled faintly of stale energy drinks and desperation. Shaking my head, I grabbed the garage remote and closed the door, making a mental note to thoroughly clean it later. As I stepped inside my house, I checked my phone. A few missed calls from Susan, probably looking for gossip. A few messages from my other neighbors, most of them laughing about what had happened. And of course, the HOA email confirming that Karen was effectively banned from using any of the community's amenities for the next year. Perfect. I stretched out on my couch, letting the satisfaction of victory wash over me. I hadn't even needed to press charges Karen had managed to ruin her own reputation all on her own. Now, for the first time in years I could finally relax, knowing she wouldn't be a problem anymore. For the next few days, I went about my life as usual. The neighborhood was buzzing with the aftermath of Karen's meltdown. I could tell from the way people whispered and smirked when they saw her in public. Even Greg seemed to be keeping his distance. But Karen, she was fuming. She wasn't the type to let things go. Every time I passed by her house, I could feel her glare burning into me from behind the curtains. Then one morning, I woke up to find something unexpected. A note, taped to my front door. I pulled it off and read it. Enjoy your little victory while it lasts. You won't get away with this. I always get the last word. I smirked. Oh, Karen asterisk. She still didn't get it, did she? She had asterisk already lost. I crumpled the note in my fist, shaking my head. Karen still thought she had some kind of power in this situation. She had been publicly humiliated, lost her neighborhood privileges, and even managed to make a fool of herself in front of her own husband. And yet, she still believed she could win asterisk. I had to give her credit. Her delusions were truly impressive. For the next few days, I kept an eye out, half expecting her to try something stupid asterisk. Karen wasn't the type to take a loss gracefully. If anything, she was the kind of person who would double down, even when she was clearly in the wrong. At first, nothing happened. But then the petty revenge started. It began with little things. My trash cans, which I always left neatly by the curb, were mysteriously knocked over every garbage day. At first, I thought it was the wind, until I caught a glimpse of Karen casually strolling by one morning, just as one of my bins magically tipped over. Then there were the complaints. I started receiving emails from the HOA about violations I had apparently committed. Grass too long leaves on the driveway holiday decorations up for too long stupid, nitpicky, things that no one actually cared about. And who was filing the complaints? Karen. Every single one. I could picture her sitting in her house, fuming over the fact that I had dared to outplay her, desperately trying to find some way to inconvenience me. But here's the thing about Karen. She never knew when to stop . One morning, I walked outside and immediately felt something was off. It was too quiet. I glanced around and noticed something strange. My car, which had been parked in my driveway the night before, was now sitting slightly crooked. I walked closer, my stomach tightening. 4 deep key scratches ran along the driver's side door. I took a slow, deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm . This was different. This wasn't just petty complaints or tipping over trash cans. This was vandalism. And Karen had officially crossed the line. I didn't waste any time. I pulled out my phone, opened my security camera app, and scrolled back through the footage. And there she was. At 2:47 a.m., Karen had crept out of her house, walked straight to my car, and dragged her keys along the side before scurrying back inside like a rat. She had done it so casually as if it were just another errand on her to-do list. But she had forgotten one very important thing. I had her on camera . I stared at the footage for a long moment, then exhaled, shaking my head. She had asked for this. And now, it was time to end this once and for all. I didn't waste a second. Karen wanted a war? Fine. But this time, she was going to lose in a way she couldn't recover from. I uploaded the security footage to a flash drive and drove straight to the police station. I didn't bother with the HOA or neighborhood drama. This was criminal damage to property, plain and simple. When I walked into the station, I explained the situation to the officer at the desk. He listened patiently as I recounted everything. How Karen had trespassed, gotten herself locked in my garage, and now escalated things by keying my car in the middle of the night . Then I handed him the flash drive. His expression changed immediately. You have asterisk footage of her doing it? He asked, raising an eyebrow. Clear as day, I said, crossing my arms. He nodded. All right, we'll take a look and get back to you soon. I left the station knowing one thing for sure. Karen had finally screwed herself over. And she had asterisk no idea what was coming. The fallout was asterisk glorious asterisk. 2 days later, I was woken up by the sound of asterisk knocking. Not just any knocking. Police knocking. I pulled open my front door and nearly laughed out loud. There, standing on her porch in an asterisk oversized bathrobe, was Karen, flanked by 2 cops. Her face was asterisk pale, her lips pressed into a thin line. The officers were speaking to her, one holding a small notepad, the other pointing at something on a clipboard. She was arguing, of course. Her hands were waving wildly, her voice shrill. I couldn't hear everything, but I caught bits and pieces. That's not what happened. I was the asterisk victim here. He trapped me in his garage. The officers didn't look impressed. Finally, after a few more minutes of her usual entitled ranting, one of the officers reached for his handcuffs. That's when everything changed. Karen's confidence shattered in an instant. She jerked back, eyes wide. She stammered, waving her hands as if trying to physically push away reality. Wait, asterisk, you can't be serious, she screeched. You're under arrest for vandalism and destruction of private property, one officer said, his tone completely neutral. We have clear video evidence of you keying Mr. Jake's car. I leaned against my doorframe, watching the scene unfold. This was asterisk better than reality TV. Karen turned her wild gaze toward me, her expression shifting from shock asterisk to pure hatred asterisk. This is asterisk your asterisk fault, she shrieked. You set me up, you asterisk, you're evil. I took a long sip of my morning coffee. Should have moved your car, Karen. The officers cuffed her, reading her rights as they led her toward the squad car. Greg stood frozen in their driveway, rubbing his face like a man experiencing the worst headache of his life. Greg, do something, Karen wailed. Greg just asterisk sighed. Karen, I told you to let it go, he muttered. And with that, they shoved her into the back of the police car, slammed the door shut, and drove away. Karen was charged with asterisk vandalism and criminal mischief asterisk. She ended up with a asterisk hefty fine, mandatory community service, and a record that would follow her for years. Greg. He filed for asterisk divorce asterisk 2 months later. Apparently, Karen's never-ending drama had finally been too much for him. And me. I got my car repainted, installed even more asterisk security cameras, and enjoyed a asterisk Karen-free asterisk life. No more entitled nonsense. No more HOA complaints. Just peace and quiet asterisk. The best part, every time I walked past Karen's old house, now sold to a asterisk much nicer family, I couldn't help but asterisk smile asterisk. Because in the end, Karen had asterisk done it to herself asterisk. With Karen gone, the neighborhood felt lighter. For the first time in asterisk years asterisk, there were no petty feuds, no ridiculous complaints, no one lurking behind curtains waiting to start an argument over something asterisk trivial asterisk. It was asterisk peaceful asterisk. I got used to waking up without finding my trash cans knocked over. My mailbox stopped filling up with asterisk anonymous asterisk HOA complaints. And best of all, I could park in my driveway without the fear of some entitled lunatic claiming it as their own. Greg, now free from the asterisk Karen tornado, seemed like a different person. We ran into each other at the grocery store a few weeks after the divorce papers were filed. He looked relieved asterisk. She did asterisk everything asterisk to try and fight it, he admitted, shaking his head. Claimed she'd take half asterisk of everything, threatened to asterisk ruin asterisk me. And I asked, raising an eyebrow. Greg laughed. She lost, he said. Judge saw right through her. Turns out when you have a asterisk record for vandalism and half the neighborhood hates you, it doesn't really help your case. I smirked. Karma's a beautiful thing. Greg grinned. Yeah, it is. And just like that, Karen became nothing more than asterisk a bad memory. Her name still came up from time to time, usually when neighbors told new residents about the asterisk legendary asterisk HOA menace who got herself arrested. Some stories got exaggerated. People claimed she tried to break back into the garage after I locked her in, or that she had to live off rainwater. I never corrected them. The truth was already funny enough. And me. I just enjoyed my asterisk quiet, entitled Karen-free life. Some people never learn. But Karen, she learned the hard way. Months passed, and life in the neighborhood settled into a new asterisk peaceful normal. No drama, no screaming matches in driveways, no ridiculous HOA complaints over things like grass height asterisk or holiday decorations being up too long. It was almost like Karen had been asterisk erased from existence. But then one day, I got a message from an unknown number. At first, I almost ignored it, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened the text. I hope you're happy. You ruined my life. I stared at the screen for a long moment, then let out a small chuckle. Karen. Of course it was Karen. She had probably spent all these months stewing, letting her anger boil over, convincing herself that I was the reason her life had fallen apart, not her asterisk-own asterisk actions. I typed back a simple reply. You did that all by yourself, Karen. I didn't expect a response, but a minute later, another message came through. You think you won? You think this is over? One day you'll get what's coming to you. I smirked. She was still asterisk, delusional asterisk. Still believing she had some asterisk upper hand, even after everything. I thought about replying, but then I realized there was asterisk no point. Karen was worth asterisk my time. So I blocked her number, tossed my phone onto the counter, and went about my day. Because the truth was, I had asterisk already won. Months turned into a year, and Karen became nothing more than a cautionary tale in the neighborhood. New families moved in, replacing the ones she had terrorized for years. The HOA meetings were quieter, without her shrill voice demanding attention. Even Greg seemed like a asterisk new man asterisk, enjoying his single life without the constant storm of Karen's asterisk unhinged behavior. As for me, life was asterisk good asterisk. I went about my days without worrying about someone vandalizing my property. I parked in my garage asterisk without the fear of some entitled lunatic claiming it as her own. I even hosted a barbecue in my backyard, something I never would have dared to do when Karen was around, because she would have found a reason to complain. Karen's name still came up in hushed conversations. People laughed asterisk about her downfall. She really got arrested for asterisk keying a car, a new neighbor asked at one of our casual get-togethers. Yep, I said, taking a sip of my drink. Right on camera, too. They howled with laughter. Man, one of them said, shaking his head. Some people just asterisk never learn. But that was the thing. Karen did learn. Not because she asterisk wanted to asterisk, but because the world forced her to. She lost her reputation. She lost her privileges. She lost her husband. And when she finally realized that no one, not Greg, not the HOA, not even the police, was going to save her from her own mistakes asterisk, she disappeared. No one knew where she went. No one cared asterisk. And me. I had what I wanted all along. A asterisk peaceful asterisk entitled Karen-free life. And I was about to waste a second of it. Because in the end, she did it to herself. Years passed, and Karen became nothing more than a distant memory, an old neighborhood ghost story we laughed about at barbecues. Life went on. Greg remarried, The HOA stopped being a source of misery. The neighborhood thrived without Karen's never-ending complaints and tantrums. And me, I lived in complete peace. No vandalism, no entitled people knocking on my door, no ridiculous notes threatening revenge. It was like she had never even existed. Until one day, I saw her again. I was at the grocery store pushing my cart down the frozen foods aisle when I spotted a woman at the end of the row. Her back was turned, but something about her stance, the rigid posture, the impatient tap of her foot, felt too familiar. Then she turned, and there she was. Karen. She looked different. Her once carefully styled bob was now limp and unkempt. Her clothes, which used to be designer brands she bragged about, were plain, almost worn out. The confident, smug expression she always carried, gone. For a brief moment, our eyes met. And in that split second, I saw it. Recognition. She knew who I was. But instead of launching into a tirade, instead of demanding something like she always had, she looked away. And just like that, she turned and walked in the opposite direction, as if she was running from me. I stood there, watching her disappear down another aisle. No confrontation, no threats, no passive-aggressive insults. Just silence. For the first time in her life, Karen had nothing to say. I let out a quiet chuckle, shaking my head as I grabbed a frozen pizza from the shelf. In the end, she had spent so much time trying to ruin me. But the only person she had ever destroyed was herself. I placed the frozen pizza in my cart and moved on, not giving Karen another thought. She wasn't worth it. The fact that she had avoided me instead of making a scene told me everything I needed to know. She had finally learned her lesson. Life had humbled her in a way that no argument, no police report, and no amount of HOA complaints ever could. And honestly, that was enough for me. I finished my shopping, checked out, and stepped outside into the crisp afternoon air. As I loaded my groceries into my car, I took one last glance toward the store entrance, wondering if I'd see her again. But Karen was gone, just like she always should have been. I slid into my car, started the engine, and drove home, back to my quiet, peaceful life. And as I pulled into my driveway, I couldn't help but smile. Because for the first time in years, I knew one thing for certain. Karen was never coming back. And I had one. As I stepped into my house and put the groceries away, a strange feeling settled over me. Not anxiety, not frustration, just finality. Karen was gone not just from my life, but from the story itself. For years, she had been a source of chaos, a constant storm of entitlement, drama, and petty revenge. But now, she was nothing more than a footnote, a lesson in what happens when you push people too far. And the best part, I didn't have to do anything. Karen had destroyed herself. I sat down on my couch, grabbed the remote, and turned on the TV, feeling a sense of peace I hadn't felt in a long time. No lingering resentment, no unresolved tension, just freedom. Because in the end, life has a way of dealing with people like Karen. Not through revenge, not through fights or drama, but through consequences. And she had finally faced hers. For the first time in years, I could live my life without worrying about who was watching, without expecting another ridiculous complaint, without feeling the need to check my security cameras every morning. It was over. I had my peace. And that was the best victory of all.